So my monologue is on page 41, Act 2, Scene 1, lines 33 through 48. And this is the part in the play right before Macbeth goes to kill Duncan. And it's significant to me because I think it shows Macbeth's beginning transition into his later insanity. And the devices that are shown in this is Shakespeare uses rhetorical questions and foreshadowing, I think, to further prove that and to emphasize Macbeth's descent into insanity. Is that good? Okay, so yeah, ready to go. Scene. Is this a dagger which I see before me? A handle toward mine hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as the sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see these yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Oh, mine eyes, thou marshaled me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Oh, mine eyes have made the fool of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still. And unlike blade in dungeon gouts of blood, which was not so before, there's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. See?
All right, Kevin, so you mentioned that you think this is the beginning of Macbeth's move towards insanity, and I'm wondering what other evidence you have in the play that he goes insane.
Oh, I don't remember exactly what scene or act it was, but I think it was the last act, Act 5. But it was a servant, I believe, that came up to him, Macbeth, and told him that the troops, Macduff's troops were coming, and he said something along the lines of the geese, something are approaching, referring to the troops, and Macbeth thought he was talking about actual geese. And I feel like that's like a good characterization of how Macbeth has just completely gone crazy, because why would geese be approaching you, trying to hurt you? And also, him seeing Banquo's ghost. I feel like Banquo's ghost was not actually there. I think Macbeth was just seeing it because, for one, it was his conscience and his guilt getting at him, and then another thing was just he was just going crazy of everything that he was doing, all the evil acts that he was committing. I feel like the witches were kind of getting into his head, leading him further down into insanity.
Okay. Now, do you can you discuss a dramatic technique that you see Shakespeare using in the play and how it's used and to what effect?
Dramatic irony. We see because throughout in the play, the beginning. What scene is that? I'm not specifically sure what the actor's scene it was, but he's talking to the witches. Macbeth is talking to the witches, and they tell him he's going to become king of Cawdor, and eventually king thereafter. And then we see Macbeth already plotting to kill Duncan, and then when he goes to his castle and Duncan approaches, and they have their conversation, and then Lady Macbeth is also brought into it. She's also plotting with Macbeth to kill Duncan, and they're just talking to Duncan like everything's fine. We're all friends. We're just gonna, enjoy the night. The whole time, they know, and the audience knows that they're gonna kill Duncan. Duncan is eventually gonna get killed, and that is used to heighten the tension and the action in the play, to propel the action and to leave the audience in suspense. We know that Duncan's gonna die, but how are they gonna do it? What's gonna happen after he dies? So yeah.
Okay. Now, could you, for your last question, could you choose a scene in Macbeth that you would like to direct and give us just a quick rundown of what your take on that scene would be and what are a couple of choices you'd make in directing that scene?
Okay. I would like to direct the scene this might sound a little grim, but I would like to direct the scene where Macduff's family is murdered, and I would do it as to how. Okay, so there's Lady Macduff and the sons on stage. They're just having a conversation. Okay, I would have like over on the side, whichever side, there's gonna be like a door, like an entrance to the castle, and there's gonna be a banging, like a real hard banging at first. Lady Macduff walks over to try to open the door. Then all of a sudden it's just a burst, and everyone, whoever it was, I forget, who came in and murdered them. They all come and they storming in. They take Lady Macduff. They grab her and like start, beating her, getting ready to kill her, and so she's off to the side being whatever's happening to her, and then the son is trying to run. Someone grabs him by his collar and cuts his throat.
Okay. And why? What is your big effect you're trying to convey?
Big effect, because we all know that Macbeth is the one who ordered the hit. I mean, it was who ordered the hit on Macduff's family. So I just wanted to characterize just the brutality of Macbeth's character and just how far he would go to achieve his ultimate goal at getting power, no matter how vicious or brutal he has to go, either whether to killing a lady or a child.
Good. Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, Brandon.